back for Denver is Brendan Langley, in the plays of the injured Cody Latimer. From a couple yards out, he'll bring it out, and here we go. Trying to find room, and brought down on the play, hit by Michael Davis. With the first down and 10, here comes the aforementioned Anderson, and a couple guys to meet him right there, including Kyle Manuel. 12. Anderson again tries to work that left side, which he goes to a lot, out to the 15-yard line. 11 at the position. Third down and 4. Blocked by Bowles. They go into Simeon, and he gets the ball out, and a completion on the play, and maybe even a fumble on the play. Caught by Derby. It's loose, and LA gets it back.
Well, A.J. Derby makes a nice adjustment here. He comes back to the football, but he simply doesn't secure it, and Adrian Phillips is able to rip it out and get that ball on the ground.
So Derby is the one to cough it up after the catch. Rivers. Hunter Henry, and he's off to the races. Been a big part of why this team has been winning. A block downfield by Williams, and Talib wraps his arms around him and takes him down at the 11-yard line. A 34-yard catch and run in the first quarter. In the pistol. Fake to Melvin Gordon. Rivers, incomplete. And looking for the injured Keenan Allen. A bad shoulder, but he starts today and plays for the Chargers. Eckler has come in, and he is in motion. For the second down and 10. Rivers. And broken up beautifully, but they're going to throw a flag on Stewart. And they were going for the tight end, Hunter Henry. The coverage.
Pass interference, defense, number 26. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball is placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic, first down.
Right end, Antonio Gates.
Fullback Watt is in, Gordon is in, follows the block, and stoned at the 1. Right around to the leading tackler, Brandon Marshall. Gordon. Oh, and a great stop behind the line of scrimmage. Shaq Barrett comes through. That's Gates in motion. Third and goal. Gordon tries to submarine his way in, and no call yet. Short. Extra tight end. Extra tackle. Gordon again. Stoned again. Davis. And Wolf, what a play. Space right here. First down and 10 after the defense does their job. And Andy Janovich is brought down immediately by Hayes Pullard. Second down and 7. Fake to Anderson, blocked by Bowles. That ball is high and wide, and for Demaryius Thomas. Tight end Derby was back there to block. Here comes the scrambling Simeon, and may have got the dive for the first down. He did.
What a good effort.
That was a great run. A gain of 9, Rich. C.J. Anderson. And wrestled out of bounds by the quarterback, Trevor Williams. Green, the tight end in motion. Second down, long 7, short 8. Bowles the block at the tackle, and he goes up top. And that's caught, 21-yard line. Charles remains, 3rd and 1. Here comes Jamal. Nothing there. Riley Dixon will punt, averaging 46 yards a punt. And back is Travis Benjamin. Low hang, good bounce. And here comes Benjamin, finding room up the middle, and a sprint with a great block on the play by Onwualu, and there he goes for 6. Travis Benjamin. 46-yard punt return for LA.
Just watch right here, stop it. I mean, you see these angles, and then you see this huge gaping hole for a very dangerous returner in Travis Benjamin. He's got rare and unusual straight line speed.
Or with the Chargers. Here is the extra point, away and up and in. And a quick 7-0 lead. We've seen a goal line stand by the Bronco D. Fumble by Denver. The ensuing kickoff by Nova. And Langley will bring it out again from a couple yards deep. And stuck at about the 16-yard line.
Look at this Chargers defense. Ingram and Bosa are a terror off the edge.
They have a 1st and 10. They go outside here for Benny Fowler, who caught 2 touchdowns against this Chargers squad opening week. Benny Fowler normally is the 3 receiver, now moving into the number 2 slot. Second down and 6, and they send C.J. Anderson. Anderson in the backfield. Third down and 3 for Denver. They blow that dead.
Full start. Offense, number 83. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
So Derby has fumbled and now is blown for the penalty right there, Rich. In motion there is Hunter Sharp off the practice squad this week. And they were going for it with the coverage on the play by Trevor Williams. It's incomplete. It's fourth down. Punting unit once again back out there for Denver. Good total for a rookie punter in NFL history last year. His first one was about 3-2. This doesn't have much hand either. It's fair caught at the 36-yard line. And to do with it.
I had a lot to do with it. Mason and I, we work in tandem.
Roby's in there as a fifth defensive back. Here comes Rivers. First down and 10 for L.A. And being chased and down. Brought down with a historic tackle sack right there by Von Miller. They lose 7. He's just moved past Carl Mecklenburg, number 2 all-time in Broncos sack history.
To come out on time.
Second down, 16, Gordon. And around his waist right there, he had Wolf at the gain of 2, and they put him up to the 32-yard line. 14, Eckler is in. And Rivers from the 32. And a high throw and incomplete. Roby was there covering Keenan Allen today because he is injured. McKenzie with an ankle injury. Kaiser. Basically a winless day here in Carson. Back to the 9, hang time of 4-7. Here comes the undrafted player out of Utah State and drilled on the play and hit by Anwalu. Has won that one 41-33 under 10,000. We're there first and 10 after the LA punt. Demaryius Thomas gets away, tripped. His 29th of the year. First and 10, Charles in the backfield. Janovich trying to give him a block. And a tackle was made by Kyle Emanuel with a gain of 1 to the 33. Second down and 9. Charles in the backfield, and he's going to get the ball right here with the beat out across the way is Hayes Puller. And Thomas, then he's drilled by Atachu, who is in his first game of this NFL season. So the Bronco resume today, fumble, punt, and here is the third consecutive punt on their fourth possession, and people are moving all over the joint.
That's going to be on the Chargers.
Yeah.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 40. 5-yard penalty remains. Fourth down.
To get it for Dixon lets it fly. His best one of the 3. Benjamin back at the 18. And here he goes again. Oh, he is slippery and getting blocks. And out of bounds about the 38-yard line.
Back and safe north of 24 people. So the Chargers found out about this, knew he was a huge fan. They invited him to practice on Friday. He broke the team's huddle. He hung out with the team in the locker room and said afterwards, it will be a day that sticks with him for the rest of his life.
Shaq Barrett's coverage on Gordon on that last play, an incompletion. Now second down and 10. Gordon again. Into the nickel. Here comes Marshall, here comes Miller, and there goes the ball. He throws it away a lot.
Intentional grounding. Offense,
Except when that happens.
The ball did not get past the line of scrimmage. This penalty carries a loss of down. Fourth down.
That's what against Oakland last week. He averaged 56 yards a punt in the Bay Area. Let's this baby fly. Sharp. Hang time of 4-3. He's broken 3 tackles, but he can't break the 4th. First play of the second quarter goes to C.J. Anderson, jumping on his back, bringing him down. Melvin Ingram. One of the top.
Played the run much better here the last couple weeks.
Simeon moves up. High was almost picked off by a dive. They were going for Sharp. Road coming into today. 4 losses to begin the season. 3rd and 12. Barber looked like he's holding. Here comes Simeon on the move. He's got the first down and then some.
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty. Third down.
They got the
Against 2 of the better edge rushers in football.
6 in the secondary. 3rd and 22 for Simeon. Underneath Charles. Finds some open space and then brought down. Tripped up initially on the play by Jatavis Brown. Tight ends, he'll someday be in camp. Dixon to punt. And Benjamin waving that arm and signaling for the fair catch, and he does at the 35-yard line. Chargers have punted the last time. 2 times they've had it from their 35. 1st and 10. Eckler, Colorado native, brought down on the play by Todd Davis. He got about 4. He's out near the 40-yard line, where that school is.
Holding. Defense. Number 99. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Goats is 1st and 10. Eckler. Looking for a block. Into the secondary and then brought down by linebacker Todd Davis. He works.
It's mostly folks wearing orange jerseys.
2nd down and 1. Here comes Miller. They don't get off to Eckler. With a good read on him. Nice play there again by Todd Davis. Into the 43. Good block by Okun that offers time. Eckler outside. 2nd and 8. Gordon was in, gave a block, and down the middle. That's the spinning Hunter Henry. Downfield he goes. Todd Davis will haul him down.
Go linebackers.
Gordon on 1st and 10. Oh, well played defensively there by Von Miller. Fought off the block, allows him just a gain of 4. Miller with a sack already in the game. 3 tight ends for the Chargers. 2nd down and 6. They blow out dead. False start. Chargers.
Full start. Offense. Number 85. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Rich, when you
Helps him to see the runs a little bit better.
2nd 11, moving up. With the catch right there by Gates, who's brought down on the play by Parks. 3rd and 7. Eckler in. Rivers free down, caught, and Allen. Did he get to the pylon? No.
Offside. Defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play. First down.
Kobe, who's a former first-rounder as well.
Eckler in, 1st and goal. Eckler, touchdown, Chargers.
Attack inside against these Denver linebackers, and that's what we've seen a lot here in the first half. Whether it's Eckler, whether it's the tight ends.
First receiving touchdown in the league. Here's the extra point. Away up and in by Novak. And
had some kicking problems early in the season, but it's a good Chargers football team.
Novak, he'll kick off to Langley. Ran a 47-yard kickoff return against the Giants. He led the team in rushing last year as a rookie. Simeon with the 1st down and 10. He goes short this time, and he'll hit his tight, or rather Janovich, his fullback, came down guard to right tackle because 3 guys before him had been knocked out with injury.
Yeah, they got to get something going. You saw the first 5 possessions, a turnover.
Booker is, wow, was he walloped? There goes a flag. Ingram. What?
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 54. Contact to the helmet area. 15 yards. Automatic. First down.
Offensive tackles upfield shoulder before he's got a chance to react.
Look around 1st and 10. Right in the teeth of that defense. Ingram had a sack in the first game in that opening weekend in Denver. To Booker on 2nd down and 4. Off his fingertips. And incomplete on the cross right there. 5 yards. 3rd and 4. Quick slant. Nice catch. Good throw. And they get it down to Booker, who's tackled on the play by Jatavis Brown. 16-yard pickup and a good throw and a 1st down for Denver. Simeon, who played his college ball at Northwestern, being chased. And look out, and there's a fumble. McCain got him, and it looked like it may have been vacuumed in by Damian Square of the Chargers. It was. The Broncos have fumbled for a 2nd time in the first half.
It's about how you have to help the tackle, and you see Barber, he clearly gets beat there. McCain beats him around the edge.
Fullback Watt becomes the wingback, as you can see. Gordon back there for Phillip Rivers, who's done a short touchdown pass. 1st down and 10. And tries to get it to Allen, and does. Chris Harris, the Pro Bowler, was there. He doesn't think he caught the ball. The officials say he picks up.
The ruling is an incomplete pass.
And Coach, who today is starting his 183rd consecutive game.
Delay game.
And somebody's messed up.
5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
2nd down 15. This is Melvin Gordon, who gets the block from Slauson and then jumping over the back with Stewart. Wolfers had a couple tackles already. 3rd and 14. Eckler is in. He's the one that caught the short touchdown pass earlier in the game from Rivers. He gets the call here with the pass outside. Great open field tackle, and there was Bradley Roby.
Divisional games are so important, and as you point out, the Chargers have had their struggles in the AFC West. 2-13 since 2015.
Kaiser. Hunter Sharp. Up today and find some room, then hit high. And
when you hold it and take that 2nd or 3rd hitch.
1st and 10 right here. They go outside. It's incomplete, looking for Thomas. We have the coverage on the play by the Pro Bowl cornerback Casey Hayward.
Quarterbacks get in training camp.
Anderson in, the fake right there. 2nd down and 10, and he drops the ball. 3rd and 10. Simeon has to get to the 45. Oof. 42-yard line is where he is. Jatavis Brown was right there.
To set his feet and trust the protection.
Punt by Dixon. 5 punts and 2 fumbles. The resume there offensively for Denver. Fair caught. Benjamin back at the 15-yard line. 44-yard punt. Rivers. An incomplete. Gordon in the vicinity. The coverage on the play by the linebacker, Brandon Marshall. Rivers 2nd down and 10. Good block by Okun across the middle. Dropped. Against this Denver team. 3rd and 10 here for Rivers. Throws it away at the feet. That's a legal pass. It goes to the feet of Gordon. 4th down, they'll punt.
When you're struggling on offense, sometimes a big return can kind of jumpstart your offense.
Minimal breeze. In fact, hardly any wind at all. Sharp all the way back to the 21. This wave is gone. Broken 2 tackles on the move. He's done a nice job today. Takes it and finally hit by Michael Davis, who makes a 2nd special teams tackle today.
Defense is so much better.
Anderson was back there to block, and down goes Simeon. I think he got more tripped up in his own lineman feet than he did really get hit and go down. But 2nd down 17 for Trevor Simeon. Underneath he goes here. This is Fowler. Is it by a die?
Right. Ingram on the same side, up top.
Look out, 3rd and 10. Here they come. There the ball goes, and it's caught by A.J. Derby. Not crossed midfield yet. Dixon. Benjamin looking up into that Southern California sun. First caught 13-yard line. Rivers had 3 touchdown passes week 1 when these teams met. A loss for the Chargers. Eckler on 1st and 10 to the 21-yard line.
Some inferior talent over the years when he was in San Diego.
And a lot of injuries, too. Nice wrap up there by Shelby Harris. Got Eckler. Jumps on his back after a gain of 2 to the 23. It was Harris, remember, that blocked that field goal. And to kick off is Brandon McManus. 2nd half is underway. He'll leave it in the end zone, so out to the 25 with the 1st down and 10 for
names that we have on that front line. Everyone has to pick it up and, of course, contain those turnovers.
All right, here comes Melvin Gordon. Thank you, Amanda. Rivers 2nd down and 8. Pulley with the long snap, and there's a pass across the middle. Is Hunter Henry, who drilled that time hard by Davis and brought down by Marshall. Gain of 7 on the line for the Chargers. 3rd and 1. Whoops. False start.
False start. Offense, number 28. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
6. Rivers picks it from the side. It's incomplete. Looked like maybe Talib got a hand on it as they were going for their top pick.
In the pocket.
Drew Kaiser's a 2nd-year punter out of Texas A&M. Deep back is Hunter Sharp. Baby was sent all the way to Encino. And it got the great bounce. Saved by Eckler.
They've had poor starting field position most of the day.
Charles with 2 tight ends. That's the side he runs on. With the 1st and 10, Pullard was there.
Trevor Simeon throwing the football on 1st down.
2nd down, 8. Oh, and a nice catch right there by Jordan Taylor. Charles remains, gets the pitch. Curtis tries to run block, and then he has all kinds of traffic over there. Fine line.
Some corners that have played much better here the last 3 weeks.
6 defensive backs on 2nd down and 10. Look out, here comes Bosa. Sack back at the 9. Joey Bosa, 7th leading sacker, 6th for the season right there.
In the game.
Anderson back there, 3rd and 11. Underneath the go here, Fowler has it, nice hit by a dive. Benny Fowler will spin his way up to the 18-yard line. The 9th possession for Denver today. The 7th punt with 2 fumbles. Dixon sends it skyward. Catch, 40-yard line. 3 sacks today by and defense against Simeon. 1st and 10, Melvin Gordon. Ron Miller and company will greet him at about the 43 and a hard-earned 4 going over the guard.
For each opponent.
It's like you. 2nd down and 7. Here comes Rivers. Chasing him hard, and he got it off. Keenan Allen.
This week went down on his shoulder. Wasn't able to practice on Friday.
1st and 10, Rivers. O'Coon's doing a nice job of it. And the tackle comes Pecco. Rivers goes down. Back at the 48. Pecco, loss of 5 on the play. Now 2nd and 15. Gordon stays in. And that is grabbed by Allen. Rivers has a 3rd and 5 through the hands of Michael Williams. That's the number 1 pick, the 7th overall kid who made his debut last week after playing for the first time as a pro. He said his debut was last week in Oakland. Kaiser will try to pooch this baby down. And it's 3rd caught at about the 8-yard line. They're without 3 of the receivers today. Jumbled front line because of injuries. 1st and 10, Simeon, chased by Ingram. And caught! Here comes Demaryius Thomas! A foot race with Phillips. Here comes Boston. There goes Phillips from behind. Flag has been thrown. Phillips wrestling him down. 81-yard catch and run, but the flag is back at the 37. Initially on the coverage.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 88.
You called it, Rich.
9-yard penalty enforced in the previous spot. 1st down.
Too many field goals in that part of the field.
1st and 15. This is Anderson. He's wrapped up as he hit the secondary by Jenkins.
Really had many 1st downs. They've got to do something different offensively.
The 2nd and 10, he goes underneath here, and it's caught by the tight end, Virgil Green.
Each timeout is a learning experience for Mike McCoy and Trevor Simeon.
Booker was in the backfield. Oh, that was tipped, and that's going to be picked off!
Just can't make the catch.
Riley Dixon. Travis Benjamin. Little sidestep there to the 43. Where the Chargers have scored in a 1-yard touchdown pass to their back. Punt return. There's a 1st and 10, Melvin Gordon. Out of the backfield into the secondary. Flag is thrown late. Tackle was made by Marshall.
Personal foul. Offense. Number 76. Rolling up the back of the legs of the defender. 15 yards. 1st down.
Russell O'Coon, who is the highest rated offensive lineman for the Chargers. And again, 1st and 25. Gordon. Nice tackle from behind by Marshall.
The football against one of the better run defenses in all of football.
And now 19, Rivers. Nice defensive play. Roby with Allen right there at the 50-yard line.
Get difficult on receivers.
They need the Broncos 47. 3rd and 19. Underneath they go. Tyrell Williams brought down by Simmons. Hazer. But this one, give him all these props, and he barely got it to the 20. A flag has been thrown back at the 37.
Holding. Offense. Number 48. Denver is elected to take that 10-yard penalty from the succeeding spot. 1st down.
They're struggling in pass protection.
Anderson in. Anderson, a good blocker. Gave him right there. Simeon 1st and 10. And in. Did he get it? 9-10 after that 30-second timeout. And C.J. Anderson finds some daylight. Brought down from behind by Jaleel Adai. 1st and 10. It was deflected perhaps, but on the ricochet, it's pulled in by the fullback, Andy Janovich. Sanders is out. Kenzie is out. There's a first and 10 run. Charles is in. Second down and 7 for Trevor Siemian. Also was in on that one. It's caught by Derby. Upended on the play by the second-year quarterback, Trevor Williams.
Broncos in the midst of a scoring drought.
C.J. Anderson got it, and then some. Oh, here comes Bosa. Second sack, flying through, loss of 5, back to the 40. He is devastating. Capone's bodyguard. Second down, 15, Anderson. Slippery, and then grabbed on the play by Boston and others.
Good looking run.
3rd and 6, another important third down for the Broncos. Bosa again, pressure applied, going deep and incomplete. 5 in the secondary. Siemian 4th and 6, moves up nicely. He's got to get to the 25, and he throws the ball, and it was picked off downfield. Casey Hayward has it, and he'll spin, and Derby brings him down. Hayward with his first interception of the season.
In that Denver backfield.
Dan Feeney has taken the place of Swasson at the left guard. Feeney is a rookie from Indiana. It's 1st and 10. And here is the handoff, Eckler. Tackled in the secondary by the hard-charging lineman Shelby Harris. Gain of 10.
The 4th quarter.
Eckler again diving inside with a tackle there by Von Miller. He brings him down at the 20. Eager gain of a yard. Second down, 9, Eckler. He'll court through his way up to about the 23-yard line.
So the big runs come when you can wear a defense down over the course of 60 minutes.
Watch for Allen here, the number 1 third down receiver.
Another
in
delay game. That's incredible.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
This frustrates you, doesn't it?
It drives me crazy. Game penalty followed up with a timeout when you're talking about a quarterback that's been in the game for so long.
Still sits in the secondary. Gordon was in. 3rd and 11. Rivers slings the ball, and it was grabbed by Henry. In the 1st and 10, handoff, Gordon, running back from Wisconsin.
They arrive with some attitude. They get you on the ground.
There's an end around. Benjamin on 2nd down and 10. Chased and out of bounds. He finds some refuge at about the 35 to 41. Play clock.
Comes the blitz.
Rivers, incomplete. No, there's yellow. We're going for Keenan Allen. Coverage by Roby.
Coming out of the break.
Pass interference. Defense
tug.
number 29. Ball placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
That jersey stretches, Rich. That's the year game 1 in Kansas City. 1st and 10. Gordon. Nice stutter step hesitation. Galloping into the secondary. Brought down by Harris. 1st and 10. Gordon. Trying him down from behind. Looked like Walker got him. DeMarcus Walker, the rookie out of Florida State. A high pick by this Denver team. Gain of 2.
First month of the season.
2nd down, 8. Drilled right there, Pecco.
There's something quick.
Oh, and look at, they got Benjamin. They got the 1st down, and they have probably got this ball game. Travis Benjamin, his 2nd touchdown today. 42-yard catch and run with a sprint to the house.
That somebody gets picked. When you look at Benjamin, Chris Harris gets picked. The safety takes a poor angle, and he is off to the races.
That makes it 21-0. Last time Denver was shut out, 1992.
In the turnover category the last 2 weeks. And that's how you lose football games in this league.
Okay, kickoff will be taken by Langley. He brings it out with an entourage. He gets a block, and now he's off to the races, and he tries to get by Davis and does not. Look at the losses in their first 4 games. 3 of those by a total of 7 points. Siemian 1st and 10. Underneath they go, A.J. Derby.
92, the last time the Broncos have been shut out. 394 consecutive games.
1st and 10, Derby again. And he gets out of bounds. The former quarterback at Iowa and Arkansas.
Kevin Harlan.
Thank you. I've seen that play before. That was in that Green Bay game with the refs who are replacement refs. Here's Derby, and he's brought down.
Officials, the regular officials were thrilled with that call. Got him back to work.
Yeah, first and 10, there's a flag. And
it's the second drop today from C.J. Anderson.
Anderson there. Williams, only return.
Illegal formation, offense number 73. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Here's that play. First and 15 with that penalty. Over Simeon, here comes square, shoved, and it was a one-hopper to Anderson, incomplete. And a flag again.
This one. Protection continues to plague
Holding
the Broncos.
Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's Garrett Bowles, who started all season as a rookie left tackle.
Charge of defense.
Booker in the backfield, 6 in the secondary. First and 25, Simeon, Booker. And he was finally taken down in the play. Coming off the line was Palapoy.
The biggest issue I see, Kevin, is the offense. If they can't run the ball, they struggle. And in fairness, side, Bowles has had his issues. And you're without Emmanuel Sanders and a couple other receivers.
18, and that is McCain, who jars it free with a big hit on Simeon. McCain has already had a sack today. He has a strip sack there, and that says it all about what Simeon's day has been like.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the offense, fourth down.
I think Bowles got it. 2 sacks today, 5 all.
Instead of 2 good pass rushers, they've got 3. That makes it very difficult on any offensive line.
4th and 26, Anderson underneath. And he goes head over heels to about the 10.
Dug themselves out of an ugly start, an 0-4 start.
Gordon on 1st and 10, so 7 consecutive losses at home, going back to their time in San Diego. Like
second charge timeout.
Home
Denver.
win.
This will be a 30-second.
Second down and 10, Gordon. Poking his way and stiff-arming his way into the grasp of the defensive player and the linebacker.
Foul, face mask. Defense number 50. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Rich, think of the Broncos.
The first 2 games compared to the last 4.
This is Gordon, and this will take us to the 2-minute warning. In the last 4 for the Broncos, 2nd and Gordon. Echo among a couple in there to make the stop.
Clean up front with their offensive line, and they're missing one of the best receivers in Emmanuel Sanders.
They're down in 9. He hits the deck at the 20. A sack right there for Von Miller, his 2nd today. Drew Kaiser. Several over 60 yards. Flipping the field. Hunter Sharp, one of those players called up off the practice squad this week, and then a nice hit right there.
That is Ace Parker, and here he goes, Parker on the side, touchdown.
G. Willikers. There's a pass to Fowler, who's tripped up by King. Gain of 8. Skip.
We've come a long way. 2
Skippers
cameras.
do it on TV.
Hard to do a game with just 2 cameras.
10, here comes Fowler, who became the 2nd receiver today. Phillips and King there to meet him. He's down to the shutout. Means a lot to a defense. Let's see if they can hold it right here. And of course, the Broncos don't want any part of that. Here comes Jamal Charles. Tachi will bring him down. And they can't stop the clock because of no timeouts.
That'll do it.
The Denver Broncos are going to get shut out for the first time since 1992. I didn't see this coming, Rich, did you?
No, I didn't. And a couple things really jump out to me. The struggles that the Broncos had on offense, which was a real shocker that they weren't able to run the ball more successfully against one of the worst run defenses in football.